Hi, my name is Sean Rumble. Welcome to a video overview on how to create crossword puzzles in Excel. Now, for viewers that are going to be watching this video, did you know that you can create crossword puzzles in Excel? I didn't know that that creating crossword puzzles in Excel existed, but yes, it does. And I kind of find that that's really interesting and 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 cool to be creating crossword puzzles. So in this video overview of how to create crossword puzzles, we will go through some of the steps, such as all about creating your grid, adding adding your words, black out empty squares, add your numbers, all about right your clues, how to remove the words, and how to test your puzzle to make sure that your puzzle is working properly. So whenever you want to play it with friends, your families, fellow classmates in your classes, and such. So let's get started. So how do we get how do you create the crossword puzzles? You first you first need to, as I'm gonna circle here in green, you will first need to create your grid and how to create a grid for the crossword puzzles. As I boxed here in green, follow these steps on how to follow these steps and suggestions of how to create your grid. Second step in creating your crossword puzzle. Add the words to the crossword puzzle. Which and how to do that? Follow this step here that I circled here in green with the green arrow. And also, as you add your all ones, please note of what some other things as you see down here, such as every word must cross. Now, what does that part mean? So, never have any hanging words, or how will we put that simply straight? In other words, what does that mean? That means every word you add must cross another one, which means that each time your solver correctly works out one word, they've got some letters for the next word, and they will soon master a certain region of your puzzle. This is the whole premise of a crosser, so it must be replaced, not replaced, excuse me, must be respected at all times. So it's one of the important things to note as you're creating your crossword puzzles and adding your words. Next part here, which is all about aim for symmetry. Another thing that you must take into consideration is aim for symmetry. Aim for symmetry. Better here. So what does that part mean? So in creating a crossword puzzle on Excel can be tedious and especially for making it symmetrical. And yes, while it can be challenging and tedious in creating the crossword puzzle symmetrical, it's worth the time investment. And and in the end, you'll have an aesthetically pleasing and professional crossword puzzle you have created on Excel. And you can aim for one line of symmetry, such as the left matching the right, or two lines of symmetry by making the top mirror the bottom and the left mirror the right. And as this article suggests, they use two. Start and how would you do that is you would start in the top left corner with a long word downwards and a long word across. And then what you do from there is you would then mirror that structure in the top right corner. From there, you'll repeat and do the same thing in the bottom corners. Now from here, at any point that you add a word stemming from one corner, mirror it in all four corners of your crossword puzzle. Now, people just sometimes add words for the sake of it, but really you should. Really you shouldn't. And that's what this next point here that the article goes into is all about, but don't add words for the sake of it. And what does that part mean? As you see here on my screen boxed around here in green with the green arrow here says making your crossword symmetrical and trying to fill your with as many words as possible can 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 tempt you into squeezing into words that you know, but all along that deep down you're not happy with. Right? Writing or creating a crossword puzzle often involves taking two steps forward and a step back. Don't be afraid to recraft an area of your crossword puzzle in Excel so that you're completely happy with the outcome. And yes, to make it fun for everyone. So yes, which that part I do agree with. Now, some other notable stuff to take into consideration as you're creating your crossword puzzles is this, which is all about short words. And what does that mean? In this part, what that part means is you want to avoid two-letter words and limit the number of times you use a three-letter word. In essence, most of your words should be at least 4 letters long, and the more long words you have, the more flexible you can be with your clues. And why is that? Because that will allow you to, with that approach, that will allow you to also let you use those longer words to generate more words stemming from them in your crossword puzzles. So that's why you should limit short words. But there are also some words to avoid when in your crossword puzzles. And this part of it talks all about words to avoid in your crossword puzzle. So, and this part means is don't obscure words that might not have might have encountered before. Getting your quizzer to correctly guess a tiny village in Sweden or 19th century Japanese art will simply demotivate them and raise concerns about the solvability of your puzzle. Instead, you can use interesting words that come up in everyday life to fill parts of the challenging words. Which, yes, that part I do agree. And this is something that all viewers that are watching this video and when you're creating your crossword puzzles to take into consideration as you do that. Now you wanna cautiously think about you will want to cautiously be concerned with your clues here in creating a crossword puzzles, which this next part talks about is all about cautiously considering about your clues in your crossword puzzles. So as you gradually add your words in your crossword puzzles when creating them in Excel, think ahead about how you might lure your solver to guess them. Now, for viewers watching this, you might want to ask yourselves this question to take into consideration. How will I tantalize my quizzer with a clever clue? And if you can't answer that question, choose another word. And another way to approach this is to use words with more than one meaning, which will give you more flexibility. So something to take into consideration as you're creating your crossword puzzles in Excel. Now, the next part here, step 3, which is all about explaining and going over all about black out empty squares, as you see here. So of course you can read all of this as you can read all of this. You can take a moment for viewers watching. Please take a moment to read what I have boxed and circled in green here on my screen here, as you see my green arrow pointing to it all about blackout empty squares. And take this into consideration as you're creating a crossword puzzles. You would then, once you do that, you would then you would then be adding your numbers in your crossword puzzles. And as you see here circled or rather boxed around in green here with the green arrow pointing to it, is all about adding your numbers in your crossword puzzles. And be and please, for viewers watching this video again, please take a moment to read what you see here on my screen here to add your numbers. And this is something to take into consideration as you're creating your crossword puzzles in Excel. Step number five is all about Step number five here is all about writing your clues. So what does that mean? So of course, you in creating a crossword puzzle, you will want to consider writing your clues. And why is that? You would now need to craft your clues to the words you chose, and start with the across clues and then to the down clues using the numbers you added in the previous step. You should also add the number of letters in the word to your clue so your solver can consider solutions without having to look back and forth between the clues and the grid. Here's what the article here suggests for this dispensable and performance, which the article suggests are the first two horizontal words on the top row, which will look like. So this is how it would look like here. As well as single word synonym type clues like those used above, you can vary the types of hints you offer. So here's so like some notable examples here. Anagram. Can you mix the letters around to create a different word for your clue? If you use this method, type anag after the clue. Another thing is fill in the blank. If you have a word that can fit into a well-known phrase such as weather and under the weather, you can let your solver fill in the blank under the and fill in the blank there. Definition. Offer a simple meaning of a word. For instance, if the word is epic, you will want to type in your crossword puzzles long story of heroic achievement. Another suggestion here is cryptic. What does that mean? These are clues with two parts. As a notable example, a clue for heart might be hidden in the art of a human body. See how the answer is hidden inside the words the and art, as you'll notice here. And the clue itself suggests that the answer is an internal body part. Now, another thing that you can do here is quiz questions here, which I find interesting in a crossword puzzle and creating in Excel is you could also write all your clues in the form of pub quiz questions, such as a notable example here, what is the densest major body in the solar system for Earth? As you create your clues, take into consideration to strike a balance between challenging and achievable. You will want your solver to have to think sometimes outside of the box, but you don't want them to lose motivation. Second to last step here is step number 6, which you will also want to remove your words. And yes, this is an important step here. And as you see here that I boxed around here on my screen with the green arrow pointing, you will want to remove your words. Now, why is that? Here's why. You're pretty much done, basically. All you need to do now is remove the letters from your crossword. And now that's easier said than done and can be kind of tedious. But here are two simple ways you can do it. So first, duplicate the sheet in your workbook and label it called answers. Then go back to your first sheet and remove all the letters from the squares, keeping the numbers in place, which you want to leave them in place. Then finally, you will want to format the numbers so that they're in the top left corner of their squares and leave enough room for your solver to write their answers or to manually type their answers if you're doing it on a computer. Now the seventh and last step here is you will want to test your crossword Excel puzzle on Excel. Now one might think that you have done all the work in putting together this beautiful crossword puzzle, but you will want to make sure that there are no glitches and you want to make sure it works properly. which is why you want to test your puzzle. And as what the article suggests here is your final step is to make sure everything works. Now you would definitely want to save your crossword puzzle on Excel as a PDF file to secure the formatting and print the crossword to complete it by hand. Having your computer next to you so you can make any necessary adjustments to your clues as you go, which will make your process a lot easier in doing so. And I highly recommend that for viewers watching this video to consider doing that. And other than that, that's basically it. The more and yes, this can be tedious, especially for which most viewers that will be watching this video, if not all viewers that will be watching this video, creating multiple crosswords can be tedious at first. But once you follow these steps here, once you follow these steps here on as I presented here in the screen in this video, you will get the hang of how to create crossword puzzles in Excel. And the more crossword puzzles you create on Excel, the quicker this process will become, and you'll soon have a stack of puzzles to share with your family, friends, and whoever else you want to share it with. So yeah, and doing so, creating crossword puzzles and uh and creating crossword puzzles is kind of fun. And for viewers that are watching this video, should try out and experiment with following these steps that I went over in this video here with and experiment crossword puzzles, which this can be very fun. And as it said there, you can play the crossword on it. You know, you can play this crossword puzzle that you create on Excel, you know, with your families, your friends, brothers, sisters, siblings, your fellow college classmates, etc. Anyone that you want to share with, you want to play this. It's very fun, and I highly recommend viewers to follow these steps in creating your crossword puzzles. It will be a lot of fun, and you'll enjoy it. And of course viewers will enjoy it as well when doing so. All right. I hope you found this video overview on how to create on how to create crossword puzzles in Excel helpful. Thank you for watching.